Welcome back to Lander University in Greenwood, South Carolina. Horn Arena, the site of the 2023 Conference Carolinas Acrobatics and Tumbling Championship. Robbie Ross and Miranda Murkison back here for semifinal number 2. Going to be between the second-seeded Belmont Abbey Crusaders and the third-seeded Coker Cobras. And Miranda, if this meet is anything like their meet back on February 24th in the regular season, which Belmont Abbey won 257.795 to 256.925, we are in for a treat this afternoon.
Absolutely. I think that this is going to be probably the best matchup we've seen. And I think that since that meet, they have probably increased their start values. Obviously have more experience, more meets under their belt to be able to come out here at the semifinals.
Coker advanced on Tuesday night in the quarterfinals by defeating King 265.950 to 260.170. So they are in the semifinals. Belmont Abbey in the semifinals. Belmont Abbey on the year 7-1 in conference play. The number 2 seed, 8-2 overall. Coker, number 3 seed, they are 5-2 in the league, losing to Belmont Abbey and also Limestone, and 6-2 overall. Coach of the year for Belmont Abbey in the conference in her 6th season, Emily Powers, has done a fantastic job with this program, obviously by winning Coach of the Year honors. Multiple postseason award winners for Belmont Abbey, Specialist of the Year, Arena Chapels, Freshman of the Year, Gracie Grady, and what we know is a very talented freshman class in this conference that we saw from our first semifinal that Limestone won over Converse to move on into the championship, but also multiple first team and second team all-conference performers on Coker as well. So this one is going to be really fun to watch. Coker trying to move from the 3rd seed into the finals, and Belmont Abbey wants another shot at Limestone tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock.
Absolutely. This is going to be a great matchup, and I do think it's going to come down to the 10ths again. I think that with having these officials, obviously having the experience that Coach Emily Powers has, she's done an incredible job from start to finish. This is now their 6th season, or her 6th season as a coach there, and she's literally started that program from the start to the finish. So I'm really, really proud to watch that come to fruition here at the championships. And then we have Coach D'Angelo. She's also the rookie coach. She's done an incredible job the last 3 years there, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We're getting ready for the run out and the introductions of both teams as we get set for semifinal number 2. Let's send it over to the public address announcer for the introductions.
University for Conference Carolinas Acrobatics and Tumbling semifinal meet between the number 2 seeded Belmont Abbey and number 3 seeded Coker. Please welcome from Hartsville, South Carolina, the Coker Cobras. Number 0, Hannah Helms. Number 1, Riley Wilson. Number 2, Dorian Brantley. Number 4, Priscilla Dalton. Number 5, Hannah Wynn. Number 6, Riley Daner. Number 7, Tori Bosner. Number 9, Alexis Baggett. Number 10, Amber Garcia. Number 11, Callie Jones. Number 13, Paula Uquady. Number 14, Riley Daner. Number 15, Kaylin Francavilla. Number 16, Priscilla Dalton. Number 17, Jada Dalton. Number 19, Ashley Walker. Number 20, Kayla Young. Number 21, Elizabeth Fairster. Number 22, Madison McAfee. Number 27, Chloe Hull. And number 29 is Angel Padilla. And number 23, Zadie Delaney. Coker is coached by Brianna D'Angelo and assisted by Alyssa Liu. And now introducing from Belmont, North Carolina, the Belmont Abbey Crusaders. Number 4, Karis Luttrell. Number 7, Madeline McCulley. Number 8, Aspen Terrell. Number 11, Katie Highfield. Number 12, Lauren Pipes. Number 14, Emily Weisty. Number 17, Blythe Terrell. Number 18, Bree Camp. Number 19, Lauren Phillips. Number 20, Sydney Singh. Number 22, Deanna Woolard. Number 23, Madison Quinlan. Number 25, Isabella Shrout. Number 26, Arena Chappels. Number 28, Victoria Bonham. Number 29, Anna Davis. Number 30, Sarah Brady. Number 31, Ashley Palucci. Number 32, Kristen Ferry. Number 33, Gabby Kotz. Number 34, Kaylee Brophy. Number 36, Amaya Sazer. Number 37, Mariella Bucham. Number 38, Trinity Martinez. Number 39, Gracie Grady. Number 40, Ava Chris. Number 41, Anna Audit. And number 43, Lily Mukrina. Belmont Abbey is coached by Emily Powers and sits by Ansley Froman. Fans, we ask that you please rise and move your hands as we're on American with the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Correction of that name for Belmont Abbey Crusaders is number 43, Lily Macrina.
And NCATA meets as a team competition consisting of 6 events. The first event is compulsories, followed by 3 heats with the acro event, followed by the pyramid event, then halftime. After halftime, there will be the toss events, the tumbling event, and the team event. Running score will be kept throughout the meet. The team with the most cumulative points at the end of all 6 events is the winner of the meet and will advance to tomorrow's championship round. First up, the compulsory event
followed by the
consists of 4 heats,
event, and then
halftime.
After halftime, there'll be a toss
tumbling
event,
heat.
the tumble event, and
The skills for the compulsory event represent the basic skills of the sport of acrobatics and tumbling. In this event, each team will execute the same skills for direct comparison. Each heat begins with a starting value of 10. The officials will be looking for execution, body positions, and stability of structures. As the 3 seed, Coker will be going first all afternoon. Belmont Abbey will be going second. We have 4 judges today, which is customary for championship play versus just 3 in the regular season.
Absolutely. This is going to be a great matchup. So in compulsory, the first things you're going to see in the acro event, or acro heat, and we will watch Coker, and they're about to go.
Coker is going to go first, and on the mat up first for Coker, Leela Browski, Amber Garcia, Callie Jones, Kayla Young, Hannah Helms, Paula Urquidi, Madison McAfee, Ariel Davis, and Dorian Brantley.
Beautiful execution there on their one-to-one release to shoulders. Going into their straddle position. They're going to pop over to that inverted skill. They're going to stack one-to-one on that base. Good synchronization and landings. Now we're going to go to our release skill to the top, to an arabesque position, to a 360, to the front, and to that cradle. Beautiful execution by Coker Cobras.
Fantastic start for Coker. As I mentioned earlier, they had some all-conference performers during the regular season. First team, Madison McAfee, Amber Garcia, Paula Uquity, as we saw Paula and Madison there as well as Amber Garcia. Second team, Leela Browski, Chloe Hull, and Kayla Young. And now Belmont Abbey will take the mat momentarily, waiting for the judges. They will open up with Bella Shrout, Gracie Grady, Blythe Terrell, Arena Chappels, who I mentioned was the specialist of the year for the conference, Lauren Pipes, Maddie McCauley, Gabby Cox, Kristen Ferry, and Sydney Singh. Freshman of the year, Gracie Grady. Other first team all-conference, Gracie Grady, Amaya Shazier. Second team, Anna Davis, Arena Chappels, and Lauren Pipes.
It's been an incredible year to watch the Crusaders and all their accomplishments. You know, Emily Powers is Coach of the Year, and also having all of these athletes just being able to be recognized.
This is the compulsory acro heat, and waiting for the thumbs up from the judges.
And as we said earlier, they are going to be competing that same sequence that Coker just competed.
Here come the Crusaders.
Well executed there. Great synchronization. We're looking for that stability in the stack position. A minor bobble right there. Great catches into that 360 to the cradle.
A little shaky there midway through, but nice finish
Overall, yes. So that will be a minor deduction from her switch up to a Liberty position. She had a minor bobble, and then she recovered into her arabesque position. So just a minor deduction, but overall, synchronization was great. Stability was great. So we'll see what the judges think.
Next up, the compulsory pyramid heat. Of course, Coker will go first.
Correct, and what you'll see is two synchronized groups, just like you saw in the acro heat, and we will see them perform a 2-1-1. The tops will 180 up to the top into that straddle position, and then they will do a flip to a cradle.
Coker from Hartsville, South Carolina. Belmont Abbey from Belmont Abbey, North Carolina. So not as close a proximity of the two schools as our first meet this afternoon, where Limestone was from Gaffney and Converse from Spartanburg. But no lack of intensity.
Exactly. This is a great matchup,
or
obviously.
importance, yeah.
As number 2 and number 3. I think that's always the most challenging meet to get to the finals. So I know Coker is celebrating, obviously, their quarterfinal completion and being able to be here. So I know that they're very grateful for that.
They hope to hang around at least one more day. Of course, tomorrow, the team championship meet at 5 o'clock. Prior to that, starting at noon, will be the individual event finals.
And I think Coker is ready.
And here comes Coker. Elizabeth Ferrister, Ashley Walker, Madison McAfee, Paula Uraquiti, Kayla Young, Zadie Delaney, Alexandra Padilla, Riley Daner, Kaylin Francavilla, Chloe Hull, Ariel Davis, and Tori Bosner.
That 180 twist up to the top. Nice straddle positions here. These are beautiful. Good release, great synchronization, and those catches were pretty nice too. So I think they're really happy with that.
Yeah, fantastic for Coker. Practically flawless there.
That was beautiful. So I'm obviously not officiating currently, but as far as a coach's eye, I think that was pretty nice, and she should be very, very pleased with that.
Everybody from the top down. In the pyramid, a lot of things could potentially go wrong and a lot of moving parts.
Right. Exactly. So you know.
Base, mid, and top.
Yeah, look at
See?
you. You
Look at
learned
me.
from the first.
I'll tell you
from the
what.
first meet today.
I pick up quick.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. So that's what I always say. Like, the more people there are, there actually could be more error, because everybody has to be on the same page, doing their job to execute properly. So I think that's kind of that mental toughness piece that they have to be able to do their job repeatedly. So let's just see what Belmont Abbey has.
And Belmont Abbey, Arena Chapels, Maddie McCauley, Anna Davis, Gracie Grady, Ashley Palucci, Gabby Cox, Lauren Pipes, Blatt Terrell, Bree Camp, Sydney Singh, Kylie Brophy, Aspen Terrell, and Ava Crisp.
They seem very pleased with that as well. So,
yeah.
As you saw, you know, their approach to their straddle positions may be a little lack of synchronization there, but other than that, beautiful catches. I thought other than that, they were pretty in sync. So they should be happy with that as well.
Scoring can be very interesting early.
Yes, absolutely.
That's kind of where we saw Limestone set the tone in the first semifinal, and Converse just really couldn't ever catch up. Not to say Limestone didn't build upon that lead, as they really did there towards the end in the team event.
Exactly.
But it was Limestone led each round throughout. So this is such a very important piece.
Absolutely.
To get a good foot start, to get a good foot out front.
Oh, absolutely. So that's kind of what the compulsory event does. It kind of shows these skills comparison, apple to apples, and then being able to build upon that to the other events.
Here we are into intro heat 3 compulsory event, and it's the toss, a favorite among everyone here.
Just a tiny bit of lack of synchronization there, but overall, beautiful technique from the top on the right. So what you just saw being performed there was a back salto tuck open. And so whenever they're riding to the very top as a top, you want to see them extend their arms, you want to see them kick out to the back wall and be able to rise before they go into that catch. So great height.
Yes.
I think that was awesome. And then strong catches, and that's what the officials are looking for.
Leila Brozowski, and Amber Garcia were the tossees there. And now Belmont Abbey will get set for their toss.
You'll see Belmont Abbey perform that same exact back tuck salto toss.
Maya Shazier on your right, and Lauren Pipes on the left.
Nice synchronization there. I'd say a minor lack of extension on that left side a little bit right before she came into that toss. It was more piked than the other side, so that may be where some deductions come from. But other than that, beautiful synchronization. You saw the tops actually reach to the top before they initiated their flip, so really great there.
Really close so far.
I personally would not want to officiate this meet because this is going to be tough.
It really is. So next we will go into the compulsory event of the tumbling heat. And after that, we will move into the acro and have some scoring.
So here you will see 8 athletes on the mat at one time. They will be performing a standing back tuck, a straddle tuck, and then you will see a back handspring back tuck, and then they will do their running portion, which will be a round off back handspring back layout. So here we're looking for feet together, strong stand, stick, cleans, and obviously synchronization. Now they're getting prepared for their round off back handspring layout. Pretty good there, so I think they're happy with that performance. So a couple things, you saw a step. Steps and hops are deductions, so you will see that. And just as a reminder, there are 8 of them out there,
yep.
So there are more deductions that can happen just for the amount of athletes on the floor. So you do have that to take into consideration as these officials come out with the scores. But tumbling is one of those. You got to have great techniques. So I think overall they did great.
Yeah, overall it was very well performed. And now here comes Belmont Abbey as we wait for the judges to give them the go-ahead. As we are underway in the second semifinal of the 2023 Conference Carolinas Acrobatics and Tumbling Championship here at Horn Arena on the campus of Lander University here in Greenwood, South Carolina. Judge is still tabulating. And gives a thumbs up. So Belmont Abbey is about to take the mat.
That was pretty nice and synchronized there. Nice sticks there. And I think they're pretty pleased with that, but
yeah.
Absolutely. So their synchronization was on point. That straddle jump back tuck is always difficult, I know, for all of the athletes to be synchronized. So that was a nice way to start.
Absolutely. Great job by Belmont Abbey. That completes the first event. We're waiting for the scores to come across. As soon as we see those, we will let everyone know. And with the combined results of this event and our meet standings being tabulated. In the next event, the acro event. This marks the beginning of the optional portion of the meet. Each team will compete with skills previously chosen with different possible start values. There will be between 2 and 4 athletes on the floor in each of the 3 heats. Heat 1 has 5 elements. Heat 2 has 6 elements. Heat 3 has 7 elements. The start value is determined by the difficulty and combination of each skill. In addition, each position must be held for 3 seconds. The event demonstrates power, strength, and balance. So we can go ahead and give some scores here in just a moment as they're still being tabulated.
Overall, this is going to be very close, I think. Compulsory is always just, again, that start to the meet, a little nerve-wracking when you have to go first, or as a coach, we just always say 1 event at a time, 1 heat at a time. So I'm sure that's exactly what they're thinking, and as Coker's going to prepare for their 5-element acro, they'll be listening in on these scores.
Still tabulating as waiting to get Belmont Abbey's tumbling score in there. Be very close throughout. So for the acro in Heat 1, it was Coker 9.325, Belmont Abbey 9.100. In the pyramid, Belmont Abbey 9.775, Coker 9.70. In the toss, it was Coker 99.500, Belmont Abbey 9.350. And in tumbling, it was Belmont Abbey 8.325. to Coker 7.700. So the first round totals and running total, it's right as close as we thought it was going to be. Belmont Abbey 36.550, Coker 36.225.
There we go. There's that tense. I think they're pretty pleased with where they're starting.
Really, the difference was made there in the tumbling.
Yes, exactly. So, those feet apart, hop steps, lack of synchronization, that really does play a role. So just as I said before, remember, that's what they're tabulating, and there are 8 athletes on the mat during compulsory tumbling. So we are excited to see the acro event. So this shows your creativity as a coach and what your team is really talented at.
Yep. So here comes Coker.
Coker's start value is at a 9.95.
Raina Chappels, Maddie McCauley, Kristen Ferry, Blythe Terrell, and Lauren Phillips.
That toss release skill to shoulders. To a layout off. Now they're going to go into their inverted skill, 1 to 2. She is definitely a handstander there. You're going to watch her pike through into a pike hold. Beautiful. Wow. And they're extremely happy with their execution there. That was awesome.
Toes were pointing to the ceiling. That's what you taught me earlier that you want to see.
Absolutely. Toes to the ceiling. Nice tight structure from the base all the way to the top. And then as they come through. So I think that we will see probably a higher score on that one.
I actually listed off the Belmont Abbey competitors, so I'll give the proper due to Zadie Delaney, Leah Brzezowski, Hannah Helms, Madison McAfee, and Alexa Baggett. My apologies to those ladies. And now we'll get set for Arena Chapels, Maddie McCauley, Kristen Ferry, Blythe Terrell, and Lauren Phillips for Belmont Abbey.
Exactly, and their start value is a 9.80.
Interestingly enough, looking at the scores of the first event, each team won 2 heats.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just how many tenths or hundredths of a point are you going to win each heat by?
Exactly.
And here's the 5 element for Belmont Abbey.
That same inverted hand-to-hand skill extended. She will press down into a straddle position. And they will pop over to another inverted skill here. Inversion non-handstand. She will stack 1-to-1. Great stability there. And they are extremely happy.
That was fantastic.
That was great. So just as you saw, you have your hand-to-foot connections, and you also have your hand-to-hand connections. So Belmont Abbey was utilizing Urena Chapels as their specialist.
Yep.
In that handstand skill. So that is what we love about the sport, being able to utilize their strengths, and that strength in Urena is her great handstands.
So tough to call that one. Both did very well. Going to be very close when the scores come out for that here in a little while. Just such an exciting matchup so far between these two. And you know, back in February, it was just this close.
Yeah.
Exactly what we expected.
Exactly. For the 6 element acro, we will see 2 groups performing the 6 elements in this heat. So again, we're looking at synchronization. They're competing the same exact skills. There they did the release 1-to-1, and then they did a full off to the ground. Another release 1-to-2. Now they'll do a layout. Synchronization has been on point so far. Into that straddle position here, popping over, similar to what you see in compulsory acro. Great job from the Cobras.
That was Ariel Davis, Paula Uraquiti, Kaylin Francavilla, Riley Drainer, Amber Garcia, Kayla Young, Callie Jones, Priscilla Dalton, and Ashley Walker for Coker.
That start value was a 9.85, which, again, having 2 groups being able to do that is very difficult. So great job to them. I thought that was very well executed. Belmont Abbey's start value is a 9.80.
And on the floor when they make their way out will be Bella Shrout, Gracie Grady, Gabby Cox, Madison Quinlan, Amaya Shazier, Anna Davis, Lauren Phillips, Ella Beauchamp, and Emily Woosty. Just waiting for that thumbs up from the judges. Here come Belmont Abbey.
The 180 walk-in to shoulders, and then they pop around 180 release to a layout to the ground. Great synchronization. That 1-to-1 release to a back tuck salto off. Now for their inverted skill. An inversion non-handstand. And that Coach Powers is extremely happy with their performance there. So again, this is where you can connect the different sequences together to be able to create that start value to whatever your strength is for your team. So each heat does have to have that inverted element, and so that is what makes it difficult in some aspects.
Yeah, very well done by Belmont Abbey, and I anticipate still very, very close.
Every tenth matters at this point, you know, and you just gotta say one play at a time, one heat at a time, one skill at a time when it comes down to this. And this is what we expect, and I think it's what makes it fun. It makes the energy high, and the strongest team will come out on top.
So now we will move into the 7 element. And first up for Coker will be Tori Bosner, Amber Garcia, Kayla Young, Elizabeth Ferrister, and Dorian Brantley.
And they have a 10.0 start value in their 7-element acro. A nice release. You saw that nice extension there. Great pull off. Good body position. This here, they'll see a 180 release pop around. Good fight there to hold that up. Nice layout off. Now they will end in their straddle position to a popover. An inverted skill there. Great job. You know, she should not be upset about that one. That was a great fight. That's all you got to do is fight for every 10th. And these skills are very difficult when you're releasing them. And it's just a one-to-one. People forget about that. So she should be proud of herself because they didn't come down. They executed every skill that they needed to for the officials. And I think, you know, obviously it's going to be a minor bobble there, but other than that, pretty good technique.
Pretty good. And like you said, they finished. They did not come down, and they were able to finish.
Yeah. I think that's important. That's when, you know, as a coach, you just say next play.
Yep.
You know, things are going to happen. And, you know, staying in the air is always the positive part of it, and recovering, doing the best you can. So this is where we'll see Belmont Abbey could possibly move forward a little bit more. You just want to watch them execute.
So the 7 element for Belmont Abbey will be Bella Shrout, Gracie Grady, Bree Camp, Lauren Pipes, and Emily Woosty.
They have a 9.9 start value on their 7-element acro. They're staying nice and loose.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you want to see. You want to see them having fun, especially on the sidelines, confident, ready to go out onto the mat. Like they're ready to go.
Here comes Belmont Abbey for their 7 element.
That 180 up to shoulders, 1-to-1. Pop around, 1-to-1 release. Layout off. Release 1-to-1 to shoulders. And a nice tuck off there. Close base proximity on that one. Great straddle position. to their inversion. Nice job. So very minimal deductions. We want to see more height off of their tuck off and their layout off. So they'll definitely get a few deductions there. But other than that, great job from them.
So we'll await the scoring for the acro event. The pyramid event is up next, final event of the first half. In the pyramid event, athletes will build 3 layers in a structure. The start value of each heat is determined by the difficulty and the combination of the entry, structure, and dismount. The pyramid event has 3 heats with different requirements for each heat. Heat 1 must have an inversion. Heat 2 must be synchronized, and Heat 3 is an open heat. 2 key things the officials will be looking for are the position of the top and the stability of the structure.
Pyramids, like we saw in compulsory, there's more people involved, there's more athletes involved, and so it's important to note that, there are different pyramids that are stronger, and if your strength is being in a bridge, if your strength is being tossed in the air, if your strength is to have a thigh stand group, then that is what you choose to do as a coach. And there's so many different options that you do have available, and that's what we love to see. I know Coker has scored, I want to say 4 10s so far on their open pyramid, and that is that toss-up pyramid that you saw earlier.
Yeah.
And it's very, very impressive. So I'm sure that they're wanting to perform really well to get another 10, hopefully. But you'll see a lot of different variety in this event.
Still waiting for the scores to come in. After the first round, it was Belmont Abbey with a very, very slim 36.550 to 36.225 lead. See if Coker was able to cut into any of that at all. Scores are beginning to populate.
Yeah, so as we wait, that is probably the most stressful, just waiting on that. And then obviously we'll see the Cobras go first in the pyramid event, so they're preparing for that.
So we got the scores now. In Heat 1, it was Coker 9.800, Belmont Abbey 9.725. In Heat 2, it was Coker 9.325, Belmont Abbey 9.300. And in Heat 3, it was Coker 8.950, Belmont Abbey 8.900, for a total of, for Coker, 28.075, for Belmont Abbey 27.925. So Coker did grab a few tenths of a point there. Now our overall standings, or our overall score, is Belmont Abbey 64.475, Coker 64.300. So just a tenth and 3/4 of a point difference so far. But point out, Coker won all 3 of those heats, which enabled them to cut into and make up a little bit of ground.
Right. But again, those start values are something to kind of keep in mind. And Belmont Abbey had a little bit lower start values, but they were playing it smart, as I like to say, and they wanted to execute very well. So this is exactly what we expected, and I think both teams should be very proud of their execution so far, and they just need to keep it up in pyramid before they get to half.
That's right. So pyramid time, 3 heats, then halftime. First pyramid, Heat 1 for Coker. The Coker fans behind us, you hear, are fired up, to say the least, and the Coker team fired up as well. Going to be Dorian Brantley, Elizabeth Ferrister, Kaylin Francavilla, Riley Daner, Zadie Delaney, Callie Jones, Ariel Davis, Madison McAfee, Layla Brzezowski, and Alexa Baggett.
This is our inversion pyramid. You see that 180 up, or sorry, 270 up. We have two mids in this pyramid. She will go to an extended hand-in-hand position. Nice hold there. And you'll watch her press down into a pike position. And that nice roll off to the floor. We're very, very happy with that.
Up top was Leela Brzezowski doing a fantastic job, and toes went to the air, which is always what you want to see from a coach or a fan or a competitor.
Yes, so she has incredible handstands, and that is what they utilize her for the most, absolutely. And, you know, that takes a lot of control as she presses down into that pike position, and I think they're pretty pleased with that one.
Yeah, I would think so. So now the judges will do their thing on that one, and Belmont Abbey will take the mat for their first pyramid.
So Coker's was a 10.0 start value, and then now we will have Belmont Abbey with a 9.90 start value. And you'll see Urena Chappels again.
Yep, Maddie
with her
McCauley,
handstand positions.
Kristen Ferry, Anna Davis, Gabby Cox, Gracie Grady, Sydney Singh, and Anna Audette. A couple of freshmen mixed in there amongst juniors and seniors.
Staying loose as we wait on the officials.
And the thumbs up has been given.
This pyramid will be an inverted skill at the shoulder level. Nice put up there. Nice handstand position, great stability. To a 360 twist to cradle. Coach Powers over here stomping. She's excited about that one. I would be too. As a coach, that is, you almost hold your breath in any of the inverted skills that are going on, because it does take just the smallest little twitch in their arm or bend in their arm for something to go wrong. So they have done an incredible job coaching that up, and Urena and her handstand skills have helped them out tremendously.
That was fantastic. So another close scoring situation upcoming for that one.
Exactly.
Now it's the synchronized pyramid here in Heat 2. So two more pyramids before we take a halftime break.
And for Coker, they have a 10.0 start value, and for Belmont Abbey, they'll have another 9.9 start value.
So Jada Dalton, Kaylin Francavilla, Paula Uriquiti, Kayla Young, Alexa Baggett, Ariel Davis, Madison McAfee, Hannah Helms, Alexandra Padilla, Callie Jones, Chloe Hull, Zadie Delaney, and the counter is Dorian Brantley here for Coker.
You'll see that bridge position with the mid-base freestanding. Do a 270 up to the top. Nice straddle positions here. little bit of lack of synchronization. Nice come-offs there. Again, that's a 10.0 start value for the Cobras. That's what I was speaking about, you know, the difference in different types of pyramids, you know. So there's a little bit less athletes on the floor for those types of pyramids, but the bridge pyramids are always extremely impressive and sometimes don't get enough credit. They're very difficult. That bridge base has to have extremely flexible shoulders, strong core and leg strength, and then you have that mid that has to have their core strength and be able to balance on top of that bridger, and then they're putting up the top. So really more of that acrobatic gymnastics skill set there.
We get ready for Belmont Abbey. Going to be Lauren Pipes, Blythe Terrell, Lauren Phillips, Bree Camp, Aspen Terrell, Victoria Branham, Arena Chappels, Maddie McCauley, Kylie Brophy, Gabby Cox, Anna Davis, Kristen Ferry, and the counter will be Emily Woosty.
You'll see the similar back bend skills here.
And here they come.
So the difference is they went straight up the back, and then they did a front flip off to the cradle catch. So that was only a 10th difference from start value wise, and again, that's a coach's decision on execution, and I think they did great there.
Fantastic. Belmont Abbey trying to maintain their very, very slim lead in this pyramid round prior to halftime. One more heat to go. This is the open pyramid. Of course, Coker will go first as the lower seed. Hannah Helms, Kayla Young, Madison McAfee, Dorian Brantley, Elizabeth Ferrister, Kaylin Francavilla, Chloe Hulls, Zadie Delaney, Callie Jones, Ariel Davis, Jada Dalton, Ashley Walker, and Paula Uquirty going to be the counter this time.
Again, this is that pyramid that they've scored 4 10s on this season, which is incredible. So I know they're looking forward to another one. They've been able to execute this very well. And so this is the time that they want that.
This is it, yeah. No better time than right now for their 5th 10 of the year.
Fans are getting into it now.
They are.
I love it.
Hannah Helms about to go up top.
And they toss all the way up to the top. With a nice control down to shoulders. She'll have that 180 twist off to that cradle, so I think they're happy with it.
Absolutely, the jump all the way up to the top, very, very impressive.
It's a long way up there.
It is.
Get a good toss in. Those pyramids obviously have been their strength, and so they utilize their strength there in that toss up. So
it's a good thing Hannah Helms is not afraid of height.
Exactly. watch Belmont Abbey with their 10.0 start value here.
Pretty quick.
Yeah,
Pretty quick judging. Yeah. What does that mean?
Could possibly mean no deductions.
Yeah.
We will see. We see another bridge pyramid here. Is that 270 up this time? Nice 360 twist off to the ground. Absolutely. That's what you want to see. So a minor step from that tosser trying to put her up. She just was a little off to the side, so she had to kind of help save it up there. But other than that, beautiful body position. That straight up and down 360 landing position is exactly what you want to see as an official. So I think they're really happy with that one. So it is going to be close.
It is. So very interesting. We noted just a moment ago the quickest judging all day long was in the open pyramid for Coker just now. So we'll see what, if indeed that means anything. Just speculation, but that was the shortest amount of time taken between heats for scoring wise. So we shall see halftime coming up after scoring. So folks, don't stray away too far, because this first hour has been exciting, and the second hour is going to even be more so, as it's going to be, I think, even closer than it was after the second round of acros.
Exactly, and this is, again, what you want to see in a championship meet. So, well, this is our semifinals, but going to the championship.
That's right.
So I think that both of these teams will be very pleased going into the half. They're just really going to have to focus and regroup and refuel.
Yes.
Make sure that they're ready for toss, tumbling, and team event.
Man, we're going to have to regroup, too,
yeah.
and refuel.
It's definitely been a long day, but this has been very, very exciting.
So the scores have been posted. So Belmont Abbey in Heat 1 of the pyramid, 9.750. Coker, 9.700. In Heat 2 pyramid, Belmont Abbey, 9.675. Coker, 9.600. And here we are in Heat 3 of the open pyramid. It was Coker with their 5th 10 of the year, 10.00. Belmont Abbey 9.825 for a round total for Coker 29.300 and for Belmont Abbey 29.250. So at halftime we are at, with Belmont Abbey, 93.725 and Coker 93.600. So
extremely
Coker
close.
continues to cut into that lead that Belmont Abbey set out early on. Listen to the crowd reaction here for this 10.
And here we are. That's such a fun, exciting feeling for that 10. Still a very solid 9.825 from Belmont Abbey too. So they're extremely excited going into the half. And like we said, every 10th counts. So I know that they're going to go in with a high. Coker will going into the half.
Yeah. So again, once at halftime, here we stand. 93.725 for Belmont Abbey, 93.600. So 1/10 and 25/100 of a point separates the two teams as we head to the second half. Stick with us. This is going to be exciting. You don't want to go away. We'll be back in 15 minutes, actually a little less than 15 minutes to set you up for the second half here at the 2023 Conference Carolinas Acrobats and Tumbling Championship on the Conference Carolinas Digital Network. Halftime wrapping up here, second semifinal of the 2023 Conference Carolinas Acrobatics and Tumbling Championship between Belmont Abbey, the 2 seed, and Coker, the 3 seed. Conference Carolinas is committed to aligning with businesses that share our common values and, like us, strive to attain excellence and virtue in all endeavors. We work hard to make our corporate partnerships a truly beneficial relationship through mutually agreed upon customization that will lead to unparalleled exposure. Conference Carolinas would like to thank our current corporate partners, Atlantic Casualty Insurance Company, Audience Rent, Barnes & Noble College, Bob McCloskey Insurance, Bufkin Baker, Cambria Hotel in Greenville, Championship Award Guys, Digital Scoreboards, Herff Jones, Hometown Ticketing, Hour-a-thon, Huddle, Marriott Spartanburg, McGriff Insurance Services, McMillan Posden Smith Plus Incorporated, Score Shots, SCS by Floor Action Incorporated, Sidearm Sports, Southern Recognition LLC, South State Bank, Ticket Smarter, Toledo Ticket Technologies, and Vernon Graphics and Promotions, along with We Played Sports. Please visit conferencecarolinas.com to learn more about Conference Carolinas corporate partners. We're getting set to start the second half here in this second semifinal. Winner today takes on Limestone tomorrow in the championship round at 5 o'clock. The first event of the second half is a toss event. Here you will see 4 athletes toss a teammate into the air. The teammates tossed in the air, known as a top, will execute a flip or a twist before being caught. There are 3 heats in this event. The synchronized toss features 2 toss groups. These groups should look exactly alike and be in sync. The start value of the toss depends on the skills that the top executes in the air. Officials will be looking for height, the top's body position, and tight catches by the base. We are in a tight matchup here. 93.725 for Belmont Abbey, 93.600 for Coker. And up first here in the second half, it's Coker. Heat 1, Zadie Delaney, Ariel Davis, Callie Jones, Kaylin Francavilla, Amber Garcia, and Tori Bosna.
Great pick, full toss. A little under rotation there as she came through in that more of a piked position, but you saw her rise to the top, do a nice pretty kick, and then she did that 360 twist salto into the toss. That was a 9.5 start value.
A pretty good start so far for Coker here in the second half. They have about 1 25 hundredths of a point
yep.
to
it's hard to calculate all
yeah,
those.
it's a lot of numbers.
Exactly. So we'll see Belmont Abbey come out with also a 9.4 start value in their first toss heat. So this toss heat is called the 450 salto toss heat. So that means they have to complete a full flip in the air. So the top's feet have to completely go over their heads to be that 450 salto.
Amaya Shazier, Deanna Woodward, Maddie McCauley, Anna Audette, Sarah Brady, and the counter is Arena Chappels for Belmont Abbey when they get the green lights, a.k.a. the thumbs up. From
trying to keep the hype up over here.
That's right, from the judges. I know. I mean, we ended that first half on such a rambunctious high notes, and, you know, halftime kind of came and drained a little of the energy out of the building. Something tells me it's not going to take much to get that energy right back in this place.
Definitely not. I think they'll pick it up here as they start officiating and moving on quicker. So I know they've worked hard on these tosses in practice this week, so let's see what they have to offer.
And here we go. We're going to go see who we're going to see. Amaya Shazier go up.
Again, we're looking for that nice extension off the top. Nice. A little bit of a bobble on that catch.
Yep.
But overall, very, very good extension. She could probably extend her arms a little bit more to the top and then initiate her toes to the ceiling. But overall, high catch. Feet were together. Just a little bit of a dip on that one side.
Yeah.
So that would probably mean she had her shoulders back a little bit more on that catch than probably usual. But overall, beautiful. I think that they've worked really hard on the execution of their tosses.
And it's such a tight matchup as we are in right now. Every little tiny thing is going to be magnified by both teams.
Yeah, exactly.
In the next 45 minutes, whether it be headed back home or headed to the hotel for preparation for tomorrow. So we get ready for the synchronized toss. Chloe Hull, Madison McAfee, Kayla Young, Riley Daner, and Leah Brzezowski for Coker.
They have a 9.4 start value as well on this, so you're going to see that back salto 360 that Belmont Abbey just performed.
Also, Ariel Davis, Zadie Delaney, Callie Jones, Kaylin Francavilla, Amber Garcia, and Dorian Brantley.
Nicely executed there. I think they're happy with that one. A little bit of a bubble on one side on that catch, but other than that, those tops really extended and made sure they had that tight body position, that hollow body position before they caught in that cradle.
Synchronization was on time, though.
Absolutely, yes.
100%.
The height looks
yes, it
the
was.
same as we mentioned earlier. Robbie asked about the extension of the group, because if one group is taller than the other, you know, is that usually in a deduction? And I said, you know, well, that's a great question, but also as long as the tops are doing what they need to in the air and they're both doing it at the same time, then
they're fine.
They're synchronized.
So now for Belmont Abbey, Bella Shrout, Kristen Ferry, Blythe Terrell, Victoria Bottom, Lauren Phillips. On the one side, Amaya Shazier, Deanna Woolard, Maddie McCauley, Anna Audette, Sarah Brady, Arena Chapels. On the other side here in this all-important synchronized toss.
Be a 9.1 start value. You're going to see this nice kick layout position. That's a new toss that you haven't seen.
Yes, correct. And that was
very nice. Obviously, you want to see that nice, pretty kick as they performed there, and then you want to see a nice, tight body position as they come through before the catch. But synchronization was on point there, so I think they definitely got all the points they could.
And good catches, too.
Yes, absolutely. Look, you're learning more.
I tell you what. So we'll see how those pan out. We have one more toss in this heat. Or in this event, I should say, one more heat in this event. This is the open toss. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the creativity that both these teams come up with in this open toss.
Exactly. So we have Coker with a 9.4 as well. So I believe that's going to be another back layout 360 toss. And then you're going to see a start value of a 9.3 from Belmont Abbey. So again, these tenths of start values do come into play when you're this close. So I think we will see that today with Coker and Belmont Abbey. It's going to come down to those tenths.
So Chloe Hull, Madison McAfee, Kayla Young, Riley Daner, Leela Brzezowski, and Dorian Brantley on the floor for this open toss.
Nice. Beautiful height, nice catch. They redeemed themselves from that catch on the last one.
Yeah.
So that was a very, very pretty toss. Lelia has a great body position as she comes through. Her feet were together. She had that nice full extension off the toss.
Stayed very tight.
Very tight, yes. So she hopefully will get all the points she can out of that.
And now for Belmont Abbey, Madison Quinlan, Sydney Singh, Gracie Grady, Anna Davis, Emily Westy, and Lauren Pipes anxiously awaiting.
Yes, with their 9.3 start value.
I'm anxiously awaiting the scores as they populate to see just how it's gonna balance out. Watching each individual heat score, and if Coker is able to cut in or if Belmont Abbey is able to extend, it's very back and forth so far in these first two heats. And here comes Belmont Abbey in this last heat before we head into tumbling.
You're going to see an Arabian 180 as she pulls all the way through, so you're going to see that. It's a different toss than we've seen today. Nice, nicely executed there. So she went into an Arabian tucked position where she saw the back corner, and then she came through as a 180 into that catch. Probably a minor lack of extension rotation. You want to see her square to that back wall in that Arabian as she pulls through. So, but overall, greatly executed. I think this will be tight.
So we're going to go into tumbling. 6 heats. First 3 are synchronized group tumbling, a duo, a trio, and a quad. The last 3 are individual tumbling. Start value of each heat are determined by the difficulty and combination of skill in each. Officials will be looking for body position, continuity of skills, and technique in each skill. And also, as we learned in the first semifinal, staying on the mat.
Yes, staying on the mat is very important as well. Not only just for a safety reason, but deductions as well. But, as you get into those individual passes with more elements and skills into those passes, sometimes they overextend, and that's okay. It's going to happen. But definitely they're trying to get that lead and get that hype, and I love the energy in the room. It finally picked back up.
Here we go.
So as we await these scores, I know they're going to start off with tumbling, and hopefully this is a strong start for Cobras, and then Belmont Abbey will follow.
Slowly starting to populate. We'll give them a little bit more time before we announce, in case there's somebody watching in the stands that get an early glimpse.
It's already moved quicker just in the second half, so I always say tumbling is the most exciting to watch. As a reminder, this is a dead floor, dead mat, or a hard mat, as some might say. So this is only a 2.5-inch thick mat on the floor, and I think that's always really impressive to point out as these athletes perform these tumbling elements and bounding skills, aerial skills.
So here we go with the scores. In Heat 1, it was Coker with a 9.175. Belmont Abbey with a 9.100. Heat 2, Coker with an 8.975. Belmont Abbey with an 8.900. So Coker takes advantage in those two. In the third heat, Coker 9.225. Belmont Abbey 9.100. So in the total, Coker picks up 0.2 of a point, 2.75 of a point at 27.375 to 27.100. So now your overall leader is Coker at 120.975 to Belmont Abbey 120.825. So how important was the tosses? huge.
Huge. So obviously it's a huge advantage in those tenths of a point with their start values being a little higher. So I'm sure Coach D'Angelo is extremely excited about her choice in that and how they perform. So first we're going to see the duo pass with a start value of a 9.1.
So now Coker, the first heat they grabbed a .75, a 3/4 of a tenth, or 300ths, I guess. Anyway, .75 advantage, and then another .75 advantage. So in the first two heats, and then a bigger advantage in that third heat.
Yes, we saw run off back handspring 1.5. A little bit of a lack of synchronization there, so you want to make sure that in these synchronized passes, duo, trio, and quad, that you are on time with one another. And other than that, technique-wise, feet were together, nice sets. Stick and have that controlled step.
Yep.
So they are a lot of that controlled step as they clean. So what the officials are looking for here is to make sure that the timing's on, make sure that feet are together. Obviously, the extension on the sets of each skill, and then the continuity, as you mentioned earlier, of each skill as well as you do these aerial passes and individual passes.
And so here comes Belmont Abbey's Amaya Shazer and Katie Highfill. And how important now is it that Belmont Abbey has the advantage as a 2 seed of going second in every event all day? Now they know, they just saw maybe a misstep in the first by Coker in this first tumbling duo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now these two can say, okay, well, we saw them stumble a little bit. We've got to really bring it.
Yeah, and that's that competitive side that you want to have. They have an 8.95 start value, so if they perform cleanly, that's 0.05 they can add back. That was beautiful. I think they're very pleased with that, and as I would be with it as a coach. So they just performed a front handspring, front tuck, step out, round off full. And having that front skill to be able to time properly is obviously, it's more difficult as each athlete performs them a little differently. So that was beautiful, though. I think, I had a minor feet apart on that landing from number 11, and then, but they were overall in sync, so they were very happy with that.
Yeah, I think that heat right there may pick them up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's what it's going to take, heat by heat here until
Absolutely.
the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then see where we stand heading into the team event here after this.
Yes.
So now heat 2, the trio pass. So Coker's going to send out Amber Garcia, Kayla Young, and Ashley Walker.
And they're going to have to rely on their teammates now to pick up, everyone land on your feet. Next play, all the things, so that we can gain every 10th back. Great timing.
That's pretty good.
Great timing. A little bit of lack of set on, or extension as the officials would call it, on that set from that middle athlete, and then, you want to be able to land straight up and down right before you salute. But overall, really beautiful job. Those whips were nice and pretty and on. That start value is an 8.75. But again, 3 athletes, it's harder to synchronize than 2. So then now we're going to go and see what Belmont Abbey has. They have a 9.1 start value, so they're going to go around off back handspring 1.5. So difficulty's a little higher, but we'll see.
Quick judging, we'll see what that means, if anything. Arena Chapels, Deanna Woolard, and Aspen Terrell. They still hadn't gotten the thumbs up, but seems like Belmont Abbey was in position quicker than they have been. So
just getting ready to execute.
That's it. Pencil still working to our left by the judges. So
it's important to note that, you got to keep your athletes loose and happy, and confident in themselves as you are waiting on those officials. Nice. Beautiful landings, very in sync. I think they're all very, very happy about that one.
Yeah, I think so, as they should be. That
Yes.
was absolutely fantastic. From my naked eye, I didn't see anything too glaring out of that
No.
one that could have been picked upon.
That was very great. Obviously, there are small things on their sets and making sure that they're pulling their toes, feet are together. Their controlled landings were much better on that one, and I think that's going to set them apart there, so that's awesome.
And now we get set for the quad. Quad pass for Coker, Jada Dalton, Tori Bosner, Leila Brzezowski, and Priscilla Dalton.
Let's see, it's an 8.5 start value, a round off back handspring full. That was pretty quick judging as well. So.
It was.
Chests were up.
May have been the most in sync we've seen all day.
That was good, yeah. So if you notice, they all started a little staggered, but they ended together. I think that's a great coaching call by Coach D'Angelo over there, and I think that it's awesome to see. I mean, you're going to see this a round-off full from Belmont Abbey, and so it's one less skill to deduct from, so it could be very tight. As we expected.
That's right. So for Belmont Abbey here in the quad pass, Lily Macrina, freshman. Don't think we've said her name yet today. Sarah Brady, a freshman. I don't see her name that we've mentioned so far today, so they're fresh off the sideline. Gabby Cox and Bree Camp.
Nice. So she has a young group in this one, which is
all four of these athletes.
exciting.
This is their first. Well, Gabby Cox did some tumbling in the first half.
nice. So what you saw there was just one less skill than Coker, but same start value. And nice landings, all cleaned at the same time. So not too much to deduct from either team.
So 3 more tumbles. Or heats, however you want to say it. Same thing.
They are tumbling.
Yeah, there's 3 more
We don't want them to tumble.
That's
but
right.
We want them to land on their feet. And
So single athlete passes. First will be the aerial pass. Be Madison McAfee. We saw her in the duo. Just a moment ago.
this pass, she has a 9.6 start value.
A little quick too. Again, I mean, judges are, I guess they know what they want to see, and when they see it, it doesn't take long to tabulate.
You see Maddie perform a front handspring front tuck, round up handspring 1.5.
Really good.
Yeah, that continuity was great. Minor under rotation in that 1.5, where she had to kind of get her hips around on that step, but other than that, beautiful technique, strong front skills there.
I'll tell you, those darn hips.
You gotta get them all the way around.
I know, tell me about it. They just don't listen. So Amaya Shazier for Belmont Abbey is up next. She was also part of the duo a moment ago.
And she has a start value of a 9.6 as well. And I believe she performs the same exact pass. That front handspring, front tuck, round off, back handspring, 1.5. It's nice to see Belmont Abbey having a lot of fun, keeping her loose. And she got the go.
Thumbs up there. So here comes Amaya Shazier, the freshman.
Nice, beautiful. So she performed a front handspring, front tuck, round off, 1.5, which again, one less hand element than Maddie did in her pass. So that was pretty.
Yeah.
I think that is minimal deductions, if any, and the feet were glued on that landing. Square, hips were square on that one. Beautiful job.
So we have our fifth run now, our fifth heat, the sixth element pass for Coker to be Madison McAfee, who was also a part of the, or no, it'll be, I didn't mark her off. It's Ashley Walker. Mm-hmm. She was part of the trio for Coker a moment ago.
And her start value is an 8.75.
Waiting on scoring.
So in this pass, we'll have 6 different skills to complete this 6 element pass.
The final heat will be an open pass. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be right back here around 11:50 in the morning. Get you ready for the event finals, individual. Mm-hmm. And then we'll be back here at 5 o'clock for the team final between Limestone and the winner of this here, which we still got a long way to go to figure that out. So here's Madison McAfee. 6 elements here.
So she competed their front skill was a front handspring, round off, whip, hand full. So lower start value, but very clean. Her continuity was great. Legs were locked. All those good things that the officials are looking for. So overall, I think well execution there.
Yeah, that was
Ashley Walker.
Yeah, fantastic. So now Katie Highfill, who was competing in the duo a moment ago with Amaya Shazier.
And her start value is an 8.90.
Another freshman. Belmont Abbey looking to advance to the championship round as a 2 seed.
Front handspring, front tuck, through to a full. Beautiful job.
I thought I think I and her 2 coaches thought she was about to fall backwards and pass out.
She had I think she had a spell at the last meet where it got a little hot, so they were just were ready to catch in case, but she did an excellent job. That front handspring, front tuck, beautiful connection there, and so as you noticed, she had to add that second handspring to make it 6 elements
Yeah.
to that full. So beautiful job overall. Legs were glued.
She finished closer than anybody else has
To the edge of the mat.
to the edge of the mat. And I was, as she was running, I was like, all right, when are you going to start? When are you going to start? When are you going to start?
Yeah, so that, again, that's preference for each athlete, but she stayed on the mat, so I think they're in the clear there.
So Paula Uraquini for the open pass. Paula was a part of, she has not tumbled yet today, or in this heat
She was in
anyway.
the duo,
Oh, she was
yeah.
in the duo. There she was. She was in the duo.
So she's actually going to perform that same pass, which is going to be a round off back handspring 1.5 with a 9.1 start value. Nice 1.5. A little bit of a bent knee on that half,
Yeah.
last half of her full 1.5, but a nice stick, stand clean. So great job from her. Even though it's a lower start value than Belmont Abbey, actually I apologize, they have the same start value.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see how this goes here.
This is where we saw Limestone really pull away earlier this afternoon in the tumbling. So many events, 6 heats in the event. We'll see how the scoring pans out to see if this is where Coker pulls away or if this is where Belmont Abbey gets right back in it.
Yeah.
Not that they're out of it by any
Yeah.
stretch of the imagination, but
This is a very crucial part with start values and execution.
so here comes Anna Davis.
The 9.1 start value as well. So
Senior.
different pass.
Yep, senior, here she comes.
Nice whip full. A little bit over rotation on her landing a little bit, dragging her front foot, but beautiful job. So she used her hands one time in that pass with the round off and then those bounding skills. So yeah, she a little square, yep. Her off deviation from center would be, the deduction.
Yeah.
But very little, very little.
I would say lean. Judges say deviation of center. Same difference.
He's over here leaning.
Yeah.
So a little bit of deviation from center. But other than that, beautiful job, both teams, as we wait for the officials to tabulate. And then we'll get to see the exciting team events. Really going to come down to this, I think.
Make sure to keep up with all the great things happening in Conference Carolinas through social media. You can follow Conference Carolinas on Twitter and Instagram at Conference Carolinas. Make sure to also like Conference Carolinas on Facebook at facebook.com/Conference Carolinas. Keep up to date on all things happening in the conference by visiting conferencecarolinas.com each day. Team event, last event of the meet. It encompasses everything we've seen so far. Team event features up to 24 athletes on the mat at one time, performing skills in acro, toss, pyramid, and tumbling in a routine set to music. The key items for officials to evaluate include synchronization of skills, stability of the structures, body position, technique of tumbling, all that we've seen throughout. Very fast pace, so be sure to keep your eyes on the mat. 2 minutes and 45 seconds each team has to complete their team event. As somebody is going to be moving on to face Limestone tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock for a conference championship on the line.
Absolutely, and this is where the pressure's on as we wait for these scores to be tabulated. The Cobras do have to go first, so as soon as those scores are in, they will hit the mat and perform their start value of a 100.70. So when they're out on the mat, you want to make sure you're looking all over the mat because you'll have multiple things going. You'll have everything that you just saw, just as we explained, but you want to focus on that technique still in your tumbling and timing and execution. So I think this is when it comes to the pressure.
It is.
that mental toughness, and the strongest team will win.
So scores have been posted. First heat, a dead tie, 8.525, 8.525. Second heat for Belmont Abbey, 8.625. That was the duo. Or no, excuse me, that was the trio that we said was so good for Belmont Abbey.
Correct, yeah.
8.625, 7.950 for Coker. In Heat 3, 8.025 for Belmont Abbey, 7.950 for, that was the quad. Heat 4, 9.500 for Belmont Abbey, 9.350 for Coker. Heat 5, 8.775 for Belmont Abbey, 8.525 for Coker. Heat 6, that was Anna Davis in the open, 9.00.
Out of a 9.1.
That's right, pretty
So
good. She
incredible
was
score.
very good,
Yes.
even though we thought she may have leaned a little bit. But anyway, and then Coker, 8.950. Paula Uraquiti in her open.
Also out of a 9.1, so very good job.
So the team total, 52.450 for Belmont Abbey. They pick up 1.2 tenths of a point at 51.250 for Coker. So the overall running total as we head to the team event, Belmont Abbey 173.275, Coker 172.225. That's one point and 51/100ths of a point difference.
There you go.
1.050 difference.
There you go. 1.050 difference going into team event. And again, this is out of a possible 110 points, and each start value, it does vary. So we have 100.70 for Coker, and then for Belmont Abbey, we have a 101.22 start value. So again, every tenth matters when they hit the mat, and these officials are going to have to look at those little tiny things that make a difference in each of the teams.
As we look back to this and put it together and see the difference, I mean, it could go back to that tumbling trio, Belmont Abbey, that turned the tide.
Took the lead, yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, folks, sit back, relax, and enjoy, because this is going to be an exciting
Team event.
2 minutes and 45 seconds for Coker. As they have to bring it, they are down, and here we go.
was a great performance by them, and they should be incredibly proud.
1.6 seconds remaining. I mean, it was close.
That was great.
That was fantastic.
So everything you just saw there, very clean. If you notice, there's tight transitions. They're going to their pyramids. I think one thing I would point out is that their pyramids were super solid. Timing was great. That's what you want to see as a coach. Pyramids are always, your athletes are putting everything together. So, you know, they're out of breath. They just tumbled. They're coming back. The whole routine is a high intensity. So I think they did a great job at controlling those emotions and really putting it out on the mat. So I think they should all be very proud of themselves.
Absolutely. That was, you know, it's hard to focus on one thing, but nothing stood out as anything negative.
No, yeah, exactly.
Everything was
That's
done.
What you want to do. You want to put it all out there, you know, especially when you're going to fight for a championship.
Yeah.
And that's what they did tonight, is just like Converse did earlier. I mean, this has been so far incredible 2 meets. This is what you want to see, and I absolutely love it. You know, coming from a coaching background, this is what every coach wants for their athletes, just go out there and perform just as they've practiced and they've trained hard for, to be able to fight for every 10th of a point, to have the possibility, you know, to have the outcome of winning. So I think, you know, when you give up those tenths, you lose that possibility. So you want to gain that. So I think that's where Belmont Abbey can have the advantage of taking a deep breath in between from tumbling to now. And while the officials are scoring, they're going to keep their energy up, but they also have to control those emotions to be able to execute properly.
And Belmont Abbey with a very slim 1 point and half a tenth lead.
Yeah.
So if you're looking in decimal form, as I'm having to do, 1.050 lead.
Exactly, and they're about to compete with a 101.22 start value.
And don't forget, they won in February by less than a point.
Yes, so
by
it will come down to that.
0.87.
Exactly.
Tenths of a point. February 24th, Belmont Abbey won between these two. So enjoy the Crusaders.
Incredible job.
That was awesome.
Once again, they're super excited about that. This is everything that they've worked hard for sure, on both sides, and I think it's fun to watch. So what I did notice in that team event is the synchronization was very on in their standing tumbling. I know that's something Coach Powers has probably worked on, and the difficulty of those passes is definitely great. So I think overall, in those ending pyramids, it's hard to end in pyramids. The toss is a little minor synchronization issue in those back tuck salto tosses, but other than that, beautiful job on the pyramids. That hand-in-hand pyramid, again, that's extremely hard to do in a team event in itself, so they did great. But this is going to come down to those small tenths of a point, the toe point, the feet together, the chest up in your landings. All of those little things matter when it comes down to a championship meet like this, or semifinals. So both of these teams, honestly, everybody today, incredible job.
All 4 teams.
Coaches, you deserve a huge hug around your neck and a pat on your back because you made it this far, and I think that's incredible to watch.
Absolutely, and don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock. They changed the time on us when I flipped the page, the last page of our script. So 11 o'clock start time, so we'll be on around 11:45, 10:45, 10:50 we'll be on to get you ready for the event finals that will begin at 11 o'clock with the championship meet, I guess, directly to follow. So we're not going to really stick to that 5 o'clock start time.
Yes, we will. So the 5 o'clock will still be good to go. As far as event finals, what you're going to see is there's going to be teams that did not qualify for semifinals and finals that will be competing in the morning, and it gives everybody an opportunity. So it's from the regular season scores for acro, pyramid, toss and tumbling events, so no team event. It's just the individual qualifiers. So that will be a fun, action-packed morning.
Yes.
And then from there, they'll have to rest up very quickly because most of them in the semifinals and finals meets are already competing in event finals as well. So they'll have to rest up very quickly, and they will be able to compete in the morning and then again at the championship meet. So again, that's where we say, like, the strongest mentally, physically, be able to come out on top at that championship meet, because myself being in that, it's a little stressful, that turnaround time, but it is, that's where we hype them up and say, this is what you train for. This is what we, push you hard for in those practices, and, make you realize your strengths and you're stronger than you think.
That's right.
Incredible. As we wait on these scores, I am anxious.
Yes, I am too. It is.
This is fun. I love it.
Anxious fans behind us, anxious teams to our right and left. So 11 o'clock event finals with the championship meet to follow.
It's still at 5 p.m., I think.
Still at 5, okay.
So I think we're good there.
We'll
get their little break, and
we'll clarify before we go off the air. Yeah, so we just clarified with Brian Hand, the assistant commissioner here for media relations, and it is going to be at 5 o'clock. So the event final start at 11, and then the team final will still be at 5 o'clock.
I'm freaking out. This is exciting.
That's it. So see what we do with these scores, and Coker's going to have to pick up a little more than a point in the team event. We'll let the PA announcer take over from here, and the crowd reaction as well for the final results.
incredible job from both teams tonight.
Both teams did a great job, and let's get the results here by the PA announcer. He's dragging it out. He likes the drama.
Here are the final scores for this semifinal meet are as follows. Team event scores for Coker, 91.200. For Belmont Abbey, 89.
So there you have it. We knew that Coker was going to have to overcome a 1.5 tent deficit in the team event, and they did.
Yeah,
in the team total, it was Belmont Abbey, or Coker, 91.200, Belmont Abbey, 89.570. And so that was a 1.7 point difference to lead to the final meet total of Coker 263.425, Belmont Abbey 262.845, a difference of 0.58 tenths of a point.
There you go. And they, again, both teams, incredible job, and they should be extremely proud of themselves because this is what a semifinal match is. So tomorrow we will see Limestone Saints against the Coker Cobras. And they're making history over here because this is going to be a big moment for the Coker team as they've worked extremely hard, as well as Belmont Abbey. But this will be their first championship appearance, so I think this will be a great matchup.
So once again, the event finals will begin at 11 o'clock, and the championship meet at 5 o'clock. Miranda, I guess as we wrap up today, fantastic day from top to bottom, start to finish, from Limestone and Converse, and then this one here from Belmont Abbey and Coker. As we said in the first one, nothing for Converse to hang their head about going home.
Nothing for
and
Belmont
nothing
Abbey.
at all
Absolutely.
for Belmont Abbey to do the same. But just absolutely great competition from top to bottom, both semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you want to see. So I'm extremely excited for tomorrow. They can still come out and win an event championship, so that's really exciting as well. And I look forward to being with you again tomorrow.
Absolutely. I had a great time, and I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow and being with you again as well. So it will be number 1 seed Limestone, number 8 in the country, against number 3 seed Coker for the 2023 Conference Carolinas Acrobatics and Tumbling Championship. For Miranda Murkison, I'm Robbie Ross. We will see you tomorrow right here on the Conference Carolinas Digital Network.